She discovered that her grandson, whom she hadn't seen for a long time, suddenly came to visit her and became exceptionally attentive. Her grandson bought her the most luxurious beef offal rice noodles, thinking that as an immigrant from Kaohsiung, she would surely love this dish. She hadn't eaten beef for decades. Seeing her making tea and worshipping the gods, her grandson eagerly tried to help. Yet for convenience, he actually served unboiled water to the Buddha. In anger, she drove her insincere grandson out the door. Unexpectedly the next day, her grandson came again, this time with luggage and a red envelope. This forced display of filial piety only made her feel uneasy. After saying this, she felt a bit regretful, as her grandson meant well after all. Not long ago, her daughter accompanied her to the hospital to check her constantly aching stomach, never expecting this result. As she panicked, her grandson sat beside her. It turned out his sudden change was to care for her illness. Thinking of this, her heart, which had been suspended by the terrible news, felt considerably comforted. She didn't know her grandson's attitude when he first learned of her illness. It seemed as if Grandma wasn't as important as a video game character. His mother helplessly instructed him to visit Grandma more often. He was someone without much filial piety. He would even laugh at his cousin, who stayed by their bedridden grandfather's side after his paralysis. He thought his cousin shouldn't waste her prime youth cleaning up after grandfather until his death. At the funeral, while he was pleased with inheriting a silver belt, watching his cousin inherit grandfather's most valuable property and quickly sell the house, he realized that filial piety could also be monetized, remembering that his cancer-stricken grandma also owned property. The next day, he appeared at her doorstep. Though the house was somewhat old, the location was decent. He first listed the house on real estate websites. Then he began showing attentiveness to Grandma. Moving in with her was also his cousin's suggestion. Getting Grandma's permission to move in made him happy, and he volunteered to help sell porridge the next day. When he heard he'd need to wake up at 4 a.m., he began having second thoughts. At 4 a.m. the next day, woken by his alarm, he wanted to doze a bit more and ended up sleeping until noon. He rushed to Grandma's porridge stall and helped pack the last serving. After closing up, Grandma went to a grocery store to visit her friend who also had cancer. He thought he was about to gain Grandma's approval, yet when they went to the bank to deposit money, Grandma kept him outside. On Sunday, his mother came to help Grandma tidy the house, finding lots of spoiled food. He noticed Grandma rarely wore a bright-colored outfit. Grandma didn't like tight-fitting clothes, yet she put on a pair of uncomfortable shoes. He asked her where she was going, dressed so nicely. Today was family dinner day, and Grandma was waiting for her two sons. The eldest son was successful in career and family. In everyone's eyes, Grandma favored him most. The second son was always fooling around, yet with his smooth talking, he could also please Grandma. They chatted and laughed in the living room. Grandma suggested playing cards after dinner, her only hobby. The eldest son said he needed to take his daughter to tutoring and told the second son not to accompany Grandma either, suggesting the elderly should rest more. Once the old woman's illness was brought to the surface, the harmonious atmosphere could no longer be maintained.